Be me. 22. Psych student at a decent liberal arts university. Men have always given me the ick since I was growing up. Always had a thing for challenging patriarchal narratives. Proud feminist, because women deserve to rule the world now more so than any other period of history. Our uni encourages us to speak our thoughts online. I ran a small campus YouTube series called Unlearn It. Mostly me breaking down toxic masculinity in the media. Got decent views. Made my entire thesis about male privilege. How they're praised for the bare minimum. How they walk through life less judged. How they just get more for doing less. But one night, arguing with this dude in the comments of one of our videos, he writes, "You ever even tried living as a man?" I laughed, replied, "I wouldn't last a day, try me." He goes, 1 month. Dress like a man. Act like a man. Be a man. Something about it stuck. Fast forward. New series idea hits me. Man for a month. Told my advisor I'd turn it into a creative study. A performative immersion into systemic male privilege. She approved it instantly. Even got funding for gear and documentation. These are the things funding should be spent on. Proud the world is moving in the right direction. Excited to prove men wrong and give a big blow to their little egos, but a bit uneasy too for some reason. Week 1, the body. Cut my hair short. Not buzzed, just shaggy masculine. Bought chest binder. Wore button-downs, cargo pants. Used makeup tricks for beard shadow. Taped voice memos to practice lowering pitch. Looked in the mirror. I didn't recognize me, but I felt ready. Ready to prove men are pampered gods in society. Walk around campus. Hold door open. Girl walks through without looking. Wait, what? Tried smiling at barista. Just gave a polite nod. No convo. Felt weirdly invisible. Not like unsafe. Just not noticed. Used to random love your fit from strangers. Today, nothing. Went to the mall. Held door again. Woman actually clutched her purse tighter. The heck? Tried helping someone with stroller on steps. Lady snapped, "I'm fine," and speed walked away. Okay, queen. Go off, I guess. Stood there holding air. Wanted to say, I was just being nice. But I didn't, because now I looked like a guy about to argue. My instinct to explain myself felt threatening. Realized even defending my intentions could be read wrong. Walked back with my hands deep in my pockets. Felt like I was leaking tension. Every step echoed, "Not welcome here." Like society handed me a muzzle the minute I looked like a dude. Must be something with the way I looked. Men left such a bad impression of themselves. This is their karma, lol. Posted day 1 video. Title: Why do people act like I'm radioactive now? Comment section wild. Guys, welcome to our world, lol. Girls, they just don't trust random men, that's valid. Still, felt like I was wrapped in static, like existing near people without being acknowledged. Nighttime walk to 7-Eleven. Usually feel mildly safe at night. As a dude, felt something new. Not fear, not threat, but nobody would save me if something did happen. No social shield. Just one wrong vibe from looking like a creepy guy. Went home. Wrote in my journal. I expected to feel powerful. I felt erased. But it's mostly because men are just dangerous as a whole and can't control their anger. Week 2, the grind. Part of the experiment was to cover the working differences between men and women. Just quick part-time gigs to show how easy working life is as a dude and all the privileges they get. Decide to job hunt. One of my faves was to prove the huge advantages they have in the workspace. Wanted to see the advantage of male applicants. Used name David on apps. Applied for basic roles, warehouse night shift, retail floor staff, delivery assistant. Interviews dry as duck. Zoom calls lasted 3 minutes. One woman asked, "What makes you think you're a team player?" Said, "I've worked with women-led orgs." She went, "Interesting," with a look like I lied. Landed a gig as night stalker. Boss was chill, but co-workers barely said more than yo. Shared lunchroom with 2 other guys. No banter, just chips and phones. Their lives look so boring. Tried joining convo once? "Hey, you guys see that Black Mirror episode?" One replied, "Nah." No follow-up, it died on impact. Felt like screaming, "I'm fun, I'm chill." But dudes don't scream that, they just go quiet. No wonder they're all single, lol. Ate lunch alone in corner. Watched 2 co-workers laugh over some TikTok. Wanted to join, didn't know how. Everything felt like interrupting. Tried Googling how to make guy friends on break. Reddit thread said, be useful, be quiet, be available. Another comment said, expect nothing. Thought it was a joke, but it didn't read like one. How do you connect if silence is the default? Is loneliness the tax men pay for respect? And what if they don't even get that? Left the lunchroom feeling like static, like I was tuned to a station nobody wanted to hear. Next shift. Female supervisor tells me to carry all the boxes. Says, you're the strong one, right? Tried joking. These arms are mostly academic. She just stared. Bro, I was dying inside. Later, ask a female co-worker where stockroom B was. She points and walks away. Zero chit-chat. Tried again, next shift. She says, I don't talk at work. Cool. Started noticing something. As a woman, I'd smile and get smiles back. As a guy, smiling was suspicious. People would literally frown harder when I tried. Posted update video. Caption, Manhood, a case study in hyper-invisibility. Mostly about experiences from work, but how men set everything up to be treated this way. Some girls I showed it to clapped. Other guys in class laughed. But inside, I felt like I was drowning. In silence, in rejection, in the low hum of, you're not worth warmth. Ate dinner alone. Again. Missed how people used to ask me, can I sit here? Now it's just chairs that stay empty. Talked to my friend Liv. Told her about the coldness. She said, that's because guys have nothing to offer unless they're hot or rich. I said, but isn't that still depressing? She said, that's equality, babe. I laughed, but it hit weird. Thought about how many times I'd preached that. If men don't like it, try being a woman for a day. But now, after 2 weeks in their skin, it didn't feel like power or privilege. It felt like a constant need to prove. Prove I'm not dangerous. Prove I'm strong. Prove I'm useful. Prove I'm allowed to take up space. And even then, the reward is silence, sometimes even fear. Is that really winning? Ended week 2. 2 jobs, 3 rejections, 0 laughs. 0 moments of being seen as warm, worthy, charming, just the stare of prove you belong. And the feeling that, even if I proved it, no one would say thank you. Like damn, do men ever get thanked? They're supposed to do all this while expecting nothing. Yeah, but kinda hurts living it from a girl's point of view. Week 3. Decided to go on some dating apps, got some stock images of a decent looking dude and ran them on Tinder. Pretty normal bio, dude works out and has hobbies, and a dog. Went the whole week just matching nothing but bots and scammers though. Either something wrong with these apps, or my account's been shadow banned. Decide to then see what guys talk about online. I'm sure they're all spreading some misogyny on Reddit, LOL. Go to r/men and r/men's mental health. See posts from men talking about crying alone, not being hugged in years, wanting to disappear. Kinda a turn off to see men be so weak openly, but low-key feel bad too. Thought men were mostly players that treat women bad. End of week 4, mentally cooked, told myself I was strong enough for this. Manhood can't break me. I'm a woman. Lol. Last few nights, couldn't even sleep. Not insomnia. Just this endless pressure behind the eyes. Like I was being crushed under something that didn't even see me. Woke up feeling flat, like every part of me was saying, get out of this. But the docu-series had to end. Couldn't just ghost this. That'd be too on brand. Decided to do the finale at school. Asked my sociology professor if I could present it to class. She's a tenured feminist, thought she'd love it. She said, sure, but frame it as gender role reinforcement, not praise of masculinity. Okay. Set up the projector. Slides said, Man for a Month, a personal immersion into masculine privilege, already lying in the title, LMAO. First few slides were chill, pics of me in my disguise, some charts, the usual. Everyone laughed at the day one stuff. They thought it was a joke, but then I showed the lunchroom clip. Me sitting alone, eating quietly. No one even looked at me. Voiceover said, men aren't isolated because they want to be. They're isolated because no one notices when they're not. Room got quiet. Showed the dating app footage. Matches, 0 if I don't count the bots. Replies, 2, but they were bots. LOL. Said, I used to mock men for failing at this. Now I understand it's not failure, it's statistical starvation. Girl in front row folded arms. Another whispered, well, he's mid. That wasn't even me. That was a stock photo library of an actual model. Not crazy hot, but looked above average for sure. Then came the Reddit forum screenshots. Posts from men talking about crying alone, not being hugged in years, wanting to disappear. Read one that said, "I haven't heard my name spoken kindly in months." Some guy in back scoffed. "Probably fake." That hurt in a way I can't describe. Wrapped the presentation with, "This was the hardest month of my life. Not because I lost anything, but because I finally noticed what men never get." Felt that lump in my throat again. Pushed it down with a sip of cold water. Professor clapped. Half the class, too. Girl with blue hair said, "Thanks for proving men suck at being men, too." Should have snapped. Instead, I just smiled weakly. Went home. Turned off my phone for 2 days. Felt like I had static in my bones. When I turned it back on, comments were split. Some guys saying, "Welcome to the club." Others saying, "Bet she still doesn't get it." Truth is, I didn't. Not fully. Still caught myself thinking, but men still have power in boardrooms. Then remembering, yeah, but most men don't even make it to the lobby. Wrote in my journal, "I don't think I'm better than men anymore, but I don't think I'm worse either. I think we were both lied to." Wanted to post it, but deleted. Too raw, recorded final docuseries, outro. No filters. Just me. Looked dead inside. Started with, "To everyone I mocked before. I'm sorry. I thought I knew. I didn't." Talked about Nora Vincent, how she lived as a man for 18 months, and checked herself into a mental hospital after. How nobody talks about that part? We treat her like a quirky experiment, but maybe she just saw too much, too early, with too little grace. Ended video saying, "Being a man isn't just lonely. It's thankless, it's invisible, and it's way heavier than I thought." Uploaded it, shaking the whole time. Next morning. Comments were brutal. "Took you long enough? Still waiting for her to blame patriarchy. Watch her delete this in a week." One comment stood out though. Said, "You're not broken, you're just seeing clearly for the first time." Cried harder than I wanted to, but still had to keep the brand. Next post on IG. "Masculinity isn't toxic, silence is." Caption, "Tough month, new empathy, still believe we can all do better, but damn fellas, how do you survive this?" Question was real, and it still echoes.